Before we get started, I just wanted to show you this 12-month transformation of mine where I went from around 120 pounds up to over 150 pounds, again, in just 12 months. You can see there's a lot of muscle mass packed on the back there. It's not fat, it's just healthy, lean muscle mass. And by following the steps that I show on this channel, you can get similar results. So subscribe if you're not.
I want to talk about the best protein for those of you and those of us with Crohn's disease or UC. So protein is essential for everybody. Protein is part of every healthy diet. Okay, whether you're trying to gain weight or lose weight or even maintain, you need protein. Protein helps conserve muscle. When you're trying to lose weight, you need protein so that you hold the muscle in your body and shed the fat. And then when you're trying to grow, you need protein so that your muscles grow while your fat grows, so you don't just get all blubbery when you're gaining weight. Now for amounts, you need around 1 gram of protein for every pound of body weight. So 160 pound male, 160 grams of protein per day. You can go up to like 1.2, 1.3 if you want, or even 1.5 if you really want to. More protein is going to give you better results, but 1 gram is like a pretty big standard. Me as a 160 pound guy, I make sure I eat like 160 grams. But if I hit 200, that's great. If I hit 220, that's great. Beyond 220, I don't really go beyond that, but between 1 and 1.5 is great. But if you can just hit 1, and you're just starting out, I mean, that's a great start. Now next to me, I have, probably $1,000 worth of protein here that I've tested, I've tried. I got all sorts of stuff. There's different categories we're gonna go over. I'll list a few of the categories and then I'll go through some of the ones I have and have tried. Some of them are empty, some of them are full, and there's more full ones that I have duplicates of behind me too. But I think I have a lot of the brands here that I want to cover. So the most popular type of protein is whey protein. It's derived from dairy. Now for the longest time, me having a dairy allergy or intolerance or whatever you want to call it, I stayed away from whey. But I didn't really understand that there's different types and different filtrations of whey. Now you have isolate. This is the most expensive stuff, whey isolate. So it'll say on a good whey, can you see that there? I got many of these. That's your most highest quality, highest filtered form of protein when it comes to whey. So a good whey, right on it, it will say somewhere here, lactose free. It'll say lactose free. It says right there. It's also gluten free, peanut and nut free, no artificial flavors. Now for the longest time, I thought I had a dairy allergy, but I've been testing whether or not maybe it's just a lactose allergy, and it seems to be. And so I've been doing whey isolate, and I've been doing that for at least 6 months now, maybe closer to 12 actually at this point, and it's been doing really, really good for me. These protein powders, especially whey, is the most affordable way to eat protein. If you're sticking to chicken breasts and fish, that can get expensive very quickly. You want your chicken breast and you want your fish, you want to have a little bit of diversity, but it's nice to save some money and get some really, really good protein. When I say good, I mean something that digests really well. And they call that bioavailability. Something that's highly bioavailable. And so there's also whey concentrate. And that's usually like some sort of composition of, you got some isolate in there, and then since it's so expensive and so much work to create, they also put some concentrate in there. And so most isolates you'll find, even though they'll probably be like 85, 90%, 95% filtered, they'll have just a little bit of concentrate in there, but not that much at all. I have a few buddies that are lactose intolerant. They don't have Crohn's or anything, but they do take isolate. In a second, I'll find some isolates and I'll find some concentrates to show you. There's also casein. It's another form of dairy protein. It's slower digesting. So when you look at isolate, that's like pretty fast digesting. You can take it within, half an hour be digested. Casein people take, I can't take that because it would just destroy my stomach. It's not lactose free or anything like that. But casein is like a protein people take before bed because it's slowly digesting. And so when you go to sleep for 8 hours, your body's basically fed protein for over the course of those 8 hours. Then we got vegan proteins, and there's all sorts of vegan proteins. Certain vegan proteins are better than others. Like pea is pretty good. It doesn't mix very well. It's one of the more bioavailable proteins. But like I said, pea doesn't mix as well as whey isolate. So if your body can handle it, like I really do suggest it. You got soy protein, not as bioavailable, so I wouldn't really recommend it. And what I mean by not as bioavailable is like if you eat 50 grams of protein from a soy source, you'll only absorb like 30 grams. Now don't quote me on that because it might be 35, it might be 25, but it's not nearly as much. If your body needs 50 grams of protein, you're gonna need to eat like 80 grams of protein, of soy protein to get that 50 grams. There's also egg protein, there's also beef protein, and it's all available in a powder and it's all flavored. You can get, vanilla flavored or whatnot. Just because it's beef doesn't mean you can't get something that's not tasting like beef. All right, so I want to run through a few of these. Starting off first, one of my favorite brands. I think it's mainly a Canadian brand, but it might be available internationally because it does say New Zealand right on it. But it's Diesel New Zealand Whey Isolate. Flavor-wise, most of the flavors I've tried are good. This is cookies and cream. Of course, it's empty because it was absolutely delicious. But this is one of those brands of isolate that say right on it, lactose-free, gluten-free, peanut and nut-free, which is nice because a lot of these isolates don't actually say lactose-free. Like this one right here. Good protein. I liked it. Isoflex by Almax. This is the vanilla flavor, and it doesn't say lactose-free. Again, the amount of lactose in this is so small that if you're eating a properly, if you're eating some big meals and a proper diet, in my experience, that small amount of lactose is not going to bother you, at least in my experience. And so this one is also really good. That one I think is for sure available internationally. I see it on bodybuilding.com. It's available in bigger form. This one's strawberry. So I like to have like a fruity flavor. I'm drinking, a couple of these a day. A fruity flavor like strawberry in the morning or banana. It's really nice. And then maybe later in the day I like to have more of like a sweeter one. Like they're all really sweet, but like a vanilla or like a chocolate or something. Like I'm not really one that likes, junk food in the morning. I like my fruits and things like that. So that's the way I kind of plan it out. Another Diesel. Here's a vanilla one. So we got two of those over here. I'm gonna start setting these on the ground here. Now this company, True Nutrition, if you're saying you want to stick with vegan protein, I recommend them. TrueNutrition.com. I'm not sponsored, but I should be. You can basically build any sort of custom blend. So it's this one right here is literally called My Custom Blend number 2043447. And so you make this blend. It's 1 pound. It's a cinnamon bun flavor. It has a carb enzyme boost, and it's not actually a protein. This is actually a fat supplement. So it's avocado oil powder. Of course, it gets mixed in with all my. I have a carb supplement too over there. But you can put whatever. You could put part carb. You could put part and choose the ratios. Part carb, part protein, 50-50. Depending on what you're trying to get. Most people stick to protein when it comes to powders because carbs are a little easier to get than protein, and carbs are a lot cheaper, like white rice and stuff like that, super cheap. Here's one, same company, different sizes, 3 pound jar. You can get them also in bags. I'll show them here shortly. It's French vanilla and it's pea protein isolate. Non-GMO, it says protein enzyme boost. You can add all these boosts and vitamins. I think there's like 20 or different enzymes you can add into it, and they'll add it in and bag it like this. Here's one that's unopened. And then I got a bigger one. Check out this one. Pretty big bag. That one is open. I'm not gonna read what everything is, but I think that's another protein. More here. I don't really like this one. I think this is one I don't like. A maple cream cookie. Cellucor isolate. It is an isolate. One of those things where you just gotta buy and try a few flavors you like. Hopefully buy from a company that has some good reviews. But some of the flavors, maybe this one is better in another flavor, but the maple one is just not that delicious. And I'm Canadian, so I'm supposed to love maple stuff. This one, I just got a huge buy one, get one, which was pretty awesome. So I grabbed a couple of these. PVL Gold Series, ISO Gold. Take a look. Gold Standard, Optimum Nutrition. Now this, I have to look. You have to look into it because they don't say isolate right on it. The first ingredient is isolate, but it doesn't say the percentage. And I'm not familiar enough with the brand. I know they're really popular. It's a really good protein. Optimum Nutrition's Gold Standard, but I don't know how high it is in isolate, and they don't claim lactose free, but it does say whey concentrate, whey peptides, a couple other things in the ingredients. So I don't buy it anymore, but I mean it's a very popular, very popular, very high quality protein. Oh, what else we got here? GNC. I think this tasted awful. Yeah, it's open. I think this is the one that tasted just awful. It is whey isolate. It is whey isolate. I think it was rather expensive, so I don't really recommend this one. I wish I had more to not recommend. Optimum Nutrition, I hate to say I don't recommend them, but I just feel more confident when one says lactose free right on it. Here's another one from True Nutrition. Now they have formulas that are pre-made too. You don't have to mix. This is a paleo bulk formula, and so it has, I don't think it says on it. Yes, it does say right on it. Beef protein isolate, sweet potato powder. So that's protein and carb. And then it has egg white protein, and then it has cookies and cream flavoring. And their flavorings are, I believe all the flavorings are dairy free, so you're good to go on that front. But you got 2 types of protein in this one, and then some carb also. So you can almost drink, if you drink enough of that powder, you could use it as a meal replacement. But honestly, I'd rather, if you want like a meal replacement, make something like this for 800 calories. It's all real foods blended up in a blender. I sip on this at night, every night. Then here's one I bought at like a Walmart a while ago when I was just getting into it. But this is a low quality form. So it has isolate in it, but it has, the first ingredient is concentrate on it. And this is Muscle Tech. I mean, of course there's premium on it, but it's not premium. Premium Gold, 100% whey protein. You know, lean muscle and strength and all the fancy shininess and fonts and whatnot. But this is mainly, the main ingredient is concentrate, meaning it does have lactose, meaning if you have a dairy allergy, you should not buy this. But I mean, you can pick it up at your local Walmart for very, very cheap. So if you can handle dairy, you know, obviously it wouldn't be that bad. You know, when you're dealing with a concentrate, it's a little slower digesting, but still a great protein and very affordable. But that's kind of all I have for proteins here. I have more, but I think between the two I recommended, the Diesel, New Zealand whey isolate, I thought it said premium on it, but it doesn't. And then this one, All Max Isoflex protein. I have this in a couple flavors. I recommend those two. Check them out if you can handle the isolate. If you can't handle it, go to True Nutrition, choose a protein source that you like, and go on Google and just type in bioavailability of proteins and find a chart. Click images, find a little chart, and it will show you the best forms. So it'll show you soy near the bottom. Up top will be whey and chicken, different things. And try to find one, maybe egg whites, whatever you can handle, and get that type of protein. Because a website like that makes custom proteins, you're going to be able to choose from, you know, dozens of types of proteins. And so if you have allergies like we all do with Crohn's and intolerances or UC, then a website like that is just going to make sense and make things way easier. They sell isolate too if you want that, but it's cheaper if you buy, like, you know, something like this that's already pre-made. You'll save a few bucks. But if you like to spend a little bit extra money and want something a little better, it's probably a higher quality source. And also you can choose any sort of flavoring and whatnot. You can check out True Nutrition. Anyways, that's all I have for now, guys. I will see you in the next video.
Second try.